Hi, welcome to this episode. Today we're going to reveal what it takes to become a champion. So, what does it take to become a champion? Is it just talent? Is it pure hard work? Or is there a secret formula that separates the best from everyone else? We see elite athletes crushing records, standing on podiums and making it look easy. But behind those moments of glory are years of discipline, smart strategies and game-changing habits that most people never talk about. Today, we're pulling back the curtain and revealing what it actually takes to reach the top. Whether you're competing in sports, pushing for personal bests, or just striving to become a stronger version of yourself. Now, let's jump onto my computer to get started with the presentation. There we go. Here's what we're going to cover on this episode: the champion mindset, habits that lead to long-term success, how to optimize your nutrition for peak performance, and what really makes a difference when it comes to losing fat and keeping it off. This isn't about quick fixes or motivational fluff. This is about proven methods that work at the highest level. And the best part, you can apply these strategies to your own life starting today. So, whether you are an athlete, a weekend warrior, or just someone who wants to unlock their full potential, stick around because this episode is going to change the way you are thinking about training, nutrition, and success. Let's get started. Now, let's talk about what separates a champion from the rest of the pack. It's not luck, it's not just talent. It's the habits they commit to every single day. If you have ever wondered why some people keep improving, keep winning, and keep setting records while others stay stuck, the answer lies in their daily routines. Champions don't just train harder, they train smarter, they recover better, they fuel their bodies with intention, and most importantly, they build an unshakable mindset. So, if you want to think, train, and perform like a champion, here are the habits you need to adopt. Let's get started with habit number 1. Champions commit to consistency, not motivation. Let's be honest, motivation comes and goes. Even the best athletes in the world don't feel 100% pumped up every day. But here's the difference. They don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. Champions train when they feel great and they train when they don't. They treat their workouts, their meals, and their recovery like an unbreakable appointment. It's a non-negotiable part of their day. So, here comes advice from me. Set a schedule and stick to it. Whether it's training, recovery, or nutrition, make it automatic, like brushing your teeth. If you wait until you feel like it, you'll always be inconsistent. Champions don't let their feelings distract their actions. Now, let's move on to the second habit. Champions master recovery as well as training. Most people think getting stronger and faster happens during training, but that's only half of the story. Your body actually adapts and improves during recovery. Sleeping is a non-negotiable. Champions prioritize 7 to 9 hours of high-quality sleep because they know it's when their muscles repair and their brain resets and their hormones rebalance. Another thing is that champions, they don't skip mobility workouts, stretching, foam rolling, and active recovery because it keeps their bodies in peak condition. And last but not least, they take rest seriously. Overtraining leads to burnout and injuries. Champions listen to their bodies and train hard, but recover even harder. So, start to audit your recovery habits. Are you actually getting enough sleep? Are you taking time for mobility and stretching? If not, that could be the reason why you are plateauing. Now, let's move on to the third habit. Champions have a focused mindset. Ask any elite athlete and they will tell you the mental game is just as important, if not more important than the physical game. Your brain controls your body. If your mindset is weak, it doesn't matter how fit you are. You will crumble under pressure. Here are some methods that champions use to develop mental resilience. First of all, we have visualization. They picture themselves succeeding before they even step onto the field, the water, or the racetrack. They see the win before it happens. The second thing that they do is that they do positive self-talk. They don't entertain negative thoughts. Instead of saying, I can't do this, they say, I've trained for this, I'm prepared. And the third thing that champions do to develop a winning mindset is staying present. They focus on one rep, one stroke, one step at a time. They don't let distractions or doubts creep in. So try this before your next training sessions. Close your eyes and visualize yourself crushing it. See yourself performing at your best. Feel the effort, the success, the confidence. Do this daily and you will start seeing real results. Now, let's move on to the fourth habit that champions have. They control the controllables. You know, life happens. You can't control everything. You might get stuck in traffic, miss a workout, or have a bad training session. But here's the key. Champions don't focus on what they can't control. They focus on what they can. For example, if their schedule changes, they adjust their plan, but they don't make excuses. If they're injured, they focus on what they can train instead of dwelling on what they can't. If they have a bad day, they don't beat themselves up. They bounce back stronger. You know, champions never have a victim mindset. They take full ownership of their training, their nutrition, their recovery, and their results. So next time something doesn't go as planned, ask yourself, what can I do right now to keep making progress? That shift in mindset is the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. Now let's move on to the fifth habit. You know, champions surround themselves with the right people. You probably heard that, but you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a second. If you're surrounded by people who make excuses, who quit when things get hard, who don't push themselves, guess what? That mindset is going to rub off on you. Champions seek out coaches, teammates, and mentors who change them. They don't surround themselves with negativity. They find people who push them forward, not hold them back. So, I want you to take a hard look at your environment. Who are you spending the most time with? Are those people lifting you up or holding you back? Because if you want to level up, sometimes you need to upgrade your circle. So, with that said, guys, these 5 habits, consistency, recovery, mindset, control, and environment, are what separate champions from everyone else. And the best part, you don't need to be an elite athlete to apply them. You can start implementing this right now in your own life. Now that we covered the champion mindset and the habits that separate the best from the rest, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked but makes a huge difference: nutrition. You know, you can train like a beast, you can have the best strategy, but if your nutrition isn't dialed in, you're not going to perform at your peak. Think of your body like a high-performance car. If you fuel it with junk, it's not going to run efficiently. But if you give it premium fuel, the right nutrients, in the right amounts, you will recover faster, perform better, and even feel more energized through the day. So let's break it down. What do champions eat? How do they fuel their bodies for maximum performance? And what can you do to optimize your nutrition? So the first thing that champions do is that they prioritize protein. Protein is the foundation of performance and recovery. Protein isn't just for bodybuilders. It's essential for all athletes. Whether you are an endurance athlete, a strength athlete, or just training to be in the best shape of your life, protein is a non-negotiable. Now you probably wonder why protein matters. So first of all, it helps repair and build muscles after training. It keeps you feeling full and satisfied so you don't overeat. And most important of all, it supports recovery and strength gains over time. Now you probably wonder, how much protein do I need? The general guideline is 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight. If you're cutting fat while trying to maintain muscle, aim for the higher end. If you're in a maintenance or a muscle build phase, you can stay around 1.6 to 1.8 per kilo body weight. So here are some of the best protein sources. First of all, you have lean meats like chicken, turkey, and beef. Fish is also really good. Fish like salmon, tuna. Eggs are good. Egg whites. Greek yogurt and cottage cheese are also really good. Plant-based proteins like tofu and quinoa are also good. And of course, all these protein powders that they consist: whey protein, casein, or plant-based protein. With that said, make sure you have a quality protein source in every meal. If you're struggling to hit your protein targets, add a protein shake or a snack or a high protein food through the day so you can achieve that goal. With that said, let's move on to the second important thing when it comes to nutrition, And that's the power of hydration. So hydration is more than just drinking water. Most people are walking around dehydrated and they don't even realize it. And even a small drop in hydration, just 2% of dehydration, can significantly impact your performance, endurance, and mental clarity. Now you probably wonder, why is hydration so critical? First of all, it helps muscle function and prevent cramps. It supports energy levels and prevents fatigue. It affects mental focus and reaction time. And last but not least, it helps regulate body temperature during training. Now you probably wonder, how much water do I need? The standard recommendation is 3 to 4 liters per day for active individuals. If you sweat a lot or train in hot conditions, you need even more. And don't forget, electrolytes are just as important as water, especially for endurance athletes. So now here comes a good advice from me. Start always your day with at least 500 ml of water before your morning coffee. And during workouts, sip water constantly. Don't wait until you feel thirsty, because by then you're already dehydrated. Now that we covered hydration, let's move on to another important aspect. This aspect is about smart carbs. Carbs are really important for energy and performance. Carbs get often a bad rap. Some people think they need to cut carbs to lose fat, but the truth is, carbs are your body's preferred fuel source, especially if you're training hard. Now you probably wonder why carbs matter. So here are some reasons why they're important. Carbs provide energy for training and recovery. They help prevent muscle breakdown when consumed post-workout, and they support brain function and focus. Yes, your brain needs carbs. So here are some of the best carb sources for athletes. For pre-workout, oat bananas, whole grain toast, and rice crackers are really good. For post-workouts, white rice, potatoes, honey, and fruits are really good. Some carbs that you can take for daily intake are whole grains, quinoa, and vegetables. Now it's also really important to know when to eat carbs. If you're training in the morning, make sure you have some fast digesting carbs 30 to 60 minutes before your sessions. For post-workout, combine carbs with protein for better recovery. If you are in a fat loss phase, don't eliminate carbs completely. Just prioritize them around your workouts so your body uses them efficiently. So instead of fearing carbs, learn how to use them strategically. If you're dragging during workouts, it might be because you're not fueling properly before training. With that said, let's move from smart carbs to healthy fats. To be honest, healthy fats are the underrated performance booster. Fats are another misunderstood nutrient. Some people still think eating fat makes you fat, but that's outdated thinking. The right fats are essential for hormone production, brain function, and long-term energy. Some of the best sources of healthy fats are avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and fatty fish like salmon. Now you probably wonder why fats matter for athletes. The reason for that is that they help regulate hormones, including testosterone and growth hormone. They support joint health and reducing risk of injuries. And last but not least, they provide long-lasting energy for endurance training. So it's really important to include a small portion of healthy fats in your meals, but please don't overdo it. Fats are calorie dense, so balance is key. So there you have it. Nutrition isn't just about eating healthy, it's about eating with purpose. Champions don't guess when it comes to their fuel. They track, they adjust, and they know exactly what their body needs. The good news, you don't have to be an elite athlete to start applying these principles. Whether your goal is to perform better, lose fat, or just feel stronger in your daily life, it all starts with what you put on your plate. Alright, now let's talk about a topic that almost everyone is interested in: fat loss. There is a lot of confusion, a lot of misinformation, and let's be honest, a lot of wasted effort. People jump from a diet to a diet, do endless hours of cardio, cut out their favorite foods, and still don't see the results they want. But here's the truth, fat loss doesn't have to be complicated. It's about using smart strategies that actually work and that you can stick to long term. And I'm going to let you know a secret that most people overlook. If you want to lose fat efficiently while building strength and protecting your joints, there is no better tool than the rowing machine to use. Now, let's break it all down step by step so by the end of this segment, you will know exactly what to do to start shredding fat effectively without wasting time on methods that don't work. Before we get started, we need to dive into the science of fat loss. At the end of the day, it's all about energy balance. First things first, fat loss happens when you burn more calories than you consume. If you constantly consume fewer calories than you burn, your body is forced to use sorted fat as energy. It's that simple. So now, to lose 1 kilo of fat, you need to deficit approximately 7,000 calories. That means if you create a 1,000 calorie deficit per day, you will lose about 1 kilo per week. And guess what? You don't have to starve yourself or spend hours at the gym to make it happen. Instead of focusing on extreme diets and unsustainable workouts, focus on a realistic and maintainable approach, like combining effective exercises with minor calorie adjustments. Now, let's talk about the perfect fat loss plan. Here is where the magic happens. If you combine rowing with small changes in your diet, you can easily create 1,000 calories deficit per day without feeling deprived or overworked. Now, let's break it down to 3 steps so you know exactly how you can burn fat. So the first step is to burn 400 to 500 calories. By using the rowing machine for 30 minutes at a moderate intensity, you can burn 400 to 500 calories per session. If you do this 5 to 6 times per week, that's 2,000 to 3,000 calories burned just from rowing. Now the second step is to reduce 500 calories from your food daily. You don't need to starve yourself, simply make small sustainable changes like swapping sugary drinks for water or black coffee, or reducing portion sizes slightly so you can cut 100 calories from each meal. Or the best of all, start eating more protein to stay fueled for longer and avoid snacking. Now, the third step is let the math do the work. So let's break it down. Calories burned plus calories reduced equals 1,000 calories daily deficit. Now, those 1,000 calories deficit per day times 7 days per week equals 7,000 calories per week. 7,000 calories per week is equal to 1 kilo of fat loss per week. It shouldn't be more complicated than that, right? So start with 30 minutes of rowing a day and make small food swaps. That's it. No extreme diets, no endless running, just smart, effective fat loss. Now, I'm going to explain you why this is a long-term sustainable approach. So let's break down why this works forever. The best fat loss strategy isn't one you do for a few weeks. It's one that you can sustain for life. And that's what makes rowing plus small calorie adjustment so powerful. It's efficient, you don't need to spend hours in the gym, just 30 minutes a day is enough. It's sustainable, you're not cutting out entire food groups or starving yourself. It builds muscles while burning fat. Unlike long cardio sessions that break down muscles, rowing helps you get stronger. And most important of all, it's low impact and safe for all ages. Whether you are 20 or 70, rowing is gentle on the body and highly effective. So don't overcomplicate things, start rowing, make small adjustments to your diet and watch your body transform. There you have it, the exact habits, nutrition strategies and fat loss methods that champions use to perform at their best. The key takeaway I want you to get is that success isn't about perfection, it's about consistency, smart decisions, and making adjustments along the way. If you start implementing these principles today, you will see improvements, not just in your training, but in your energy levels, recovery, and overall health. In the next episode, we're looking ahead. What do you need to focus on in 2025 to set new personal best, stay injury-free, and actually reach your training goals? We will break down the best strategies, mindset shifts, and practical steps you need to take to make 2025 your strongest year yet. With that said, see you in the next episode. Bye.